Alright, so what's good, YouTube? It's your boy Wavy Cricket, the Silver Surfer of the YouTube gaming streets. And I guess I'm back with this. I'm gonna call it a solo cast podcast style video. So it is gonna be a longer video. You guys are gonna see it probably in the description. It may be like really long, it might not, but I just wanted to talk about a couple of like the things that are going on in gaming right now. Right now we got we're living in some rough ass times right now, man. Like I don't even want to get into like the trials and tribulations of the times that we live in. We live in a time where we basically Resident Evil. Funny enough, I'm gonna have it playing in the background, but we living in kind of a time like that where there's this virus spreading and shit. Luckily, nobody's mutated like this and none of that crap, because that would be absolutely insane. But it's a really weird time for gaming, so I guess I'll talk about The Last of Us 2 first. I do realize that The Last of Us 2 got delayed. And not only was it delayed, it was indefinitely delayed. So I'm not too sure about what that means for the game itself. Like me, if you personally ask me, I hope that game comes out like next year this time, to where they freaking polished everything out and there's no like Snowgate or none of that bullshit. Cause you know niggas just love to complain about puddles and snow and little stuff that does not matter in video games. Like everything that does, as long as everything that does matter, like the visuals, the representation of the game, like the mechanics working properly, a little bit, like this ain't real life. At the end of the day, it's a video game. They can only nail so much stuff. As long as they're not moving sloppy like Microsoft is like, and we're gonna get into Microsoft in a little bit, but Microsoft, what happened, bro? Like ever since Don Matrick left, like all these changes that Phil brought about to the Xbox, man. But like I was saying, The Last of Us, like I would prefer for the game to get delayed. Like I don't want to get into conspiracy theories, but I have heard people talk about like the game not being done, which is understandable. Like the way that Sony goes about making their games, like they let's say they quote unquote exclusive because they're here today and gone tomorrow, but they actually take their time and do the work to make a game look good. And they take advantage of their hardware, unlike Xbox, where Xbox has been all about power, like since the mid this generation, because the PS4 launched with more power. If it was all about power for you niggas would have been on the PS4 day one, but y'all niggas are like waiting. I don't know what y'all waiting on for. That PS5 just jumped ship. Just jumped the ship, because there's nothing like the new Xbox is not innovative at all. There's nothing innovative about the new Xbox. Then it looks like a PC. It looks like a freaking tower. So that shit is out here stealing identities, like just like Microsoft, which Microsoft is the copycat company. They watch what somebody does and then they just try to do the same thing. And well, with, at least in the gaming industry wise, like I've been said that these niggas been gave up hope in fucking Xbox, because the first Xbox, I didn't own that shit, but I remember that shit. And that was like a good console. It came out with Halo, which now there's like 56 iterations of Halo. out there in the wild. Like, there's no shortage of Halo, but Halo was one of those exclusives back in the day. Even though you could play it on PCs, like nobody even talked about PC back in them days because PC was nowhere near where consoles were at in that period in time, or it was probably too expensive to build something versus just going out there and getting a console that would look awesome. Cause nigga, we came up from CRT TVs, and look at how Resident Evil 3 looked then to how it looks now. Look at how Resident Evil 2 looks then to how it looks now. I'm gonna go with, cause I haven't played 3 yet, and I'm gonna get into talking about 3 cause there are some unfortunate things that I heard about the game, but um we are in a whole different time, and Microsoft chooses like to not adapt or not compete. I don't know why they not trying to compete. They just want to merge with everything. Microsoft is like the Agent Smith of gaming, brother. The Agent Smith of gaming. I can't say it no better. Like, it's gonna deny you shit in the past. Like Sony had been tried to get crossplay, and you niggas is crying about it now. But when Microsoft said no in the past, it was all right. But now we have to push that shit. That's the shit going forward. Blah blah blah. So all I gotta say about The Last of Us 2, and I know I've been going like into several things, but The Last of Us 2, as long as it comes out and it is a game and they patch out as many bugs as they can, and hell, they might even add a multiplayer now. Like, it might drop with the multiplayer on the disc for you niggas that still go out there and buy a discs, especially amidst all this stuff that's going on. Like, when GameStop, like, this is crazy because I know everybody heard about this already and this is all news, but these motherfuckers were considering themselves essential, like an essential business, when niggas, like, in the time that we're in with the CV-19, the C virus and all of that, nigga, you better be like minimalizing your exposure to other like humans and crap. Because bro, if you want a game so bad that you want to play it during this pandemic and all of this shit that's going on, just download that shit. There's no reason not to. Like, this is what this was made for. And going forward, man, I don't even want to get into the topic of freaking physical media versus like digital media, because it's overdone, it's overcooked, it's overkilled. But like, if there ever were a time to choose or digital over physical, is right now, ladies and gentlemen. And anyways, those GameStops got closed. With GameStop, we're just gonna have to wait and see. And like with everything in these times that we are right now, we're just gonna have to wait and see and how it unfolds. You got that nigga Reggie. His body is ready to hopefully make some positive changes with that company. So we've talked about The Last of Us 2. I guess I'll get into the controller for the PS4. The controller, and I'm gonna just get into the PS4 in general because you can't talk about one without the other. So the controller for the PS4, we haven't seen the design for the actual console itself, but the controller, that shit looks futuristic, bro. I feel like as I've grown up with PlayStation, because I've always had, like, I always been with PlayStation, dog. Even though I might have owned another console, like I own a PlayStation 1 and a Nintendo 64 at the same time, or PS2 as well at the same time. I ain't like these flip-flopping ass niggas. Like, I'm about this gaming shit where wherever the fun's at, that's where you're gonna find me playing. But, or wherever the quality is now, because A game needs to be fun and it needs to be of quality too. Like that should definitely helps a game more than it would be a detriment. But I feel like the DualShock has grown and evolved as I've grown and evolved. Cause I've been gaming since I was a kid. Now I'm an adult. All of that shit. And that new PS4 controller, the DualSense, it ain't even the DualShock no more. It's not the DualShock 5, ladies and gentlemen. It's the DualSense. That shit looks like it'll fit perfectly in my hand. It's supposed to have adaptive triggers, like R2 and L2 are supposed to be adaptive triggers. So if the game that they showed on screen at the time was God of War, if like you basically shooting a slingshot, you could imagine you could probably do this in Tomb Raider and all of that. You'll feel the tension, I guess, of the bow and shit, which is pretty cool. I'm definitely excited to see how that works, and this is definitely why Phil Spencer and the Xbox in general as a whole, like, y'all have gotten curb stomped because Yoshida and all of them, Mark Cerny, shout out to the boy Mark Cerny. Bro, they've been evolving. They took this generation was pretty whack, bro, because last generation overstayed, and then this generation nobody really optimized shit. These consoles are not optimized or anything, but the PS5, bro, they are gonna make sure that shit is next gen for real. That shit's about to be next gen. That shit's about to compete with the PC. And I'm not saying I don't want niggas to go around misquoting me like, oh, that shit's gonna be more powerful than any PC. No, you're gonna have to shell a lot of money out for something that performs better, and then you might be waiting a year or 2 or 3 for them bangers that are gonna be launching on the PS5, because they optimizing this shit. From everything that I hear, this shit's gonna be a guaranteed 4K 60. Or probably, hopefully they let you change the settings so that you can just hit the frame rates that you want to hit in games. Or if you want to go ahead and take the resolution over the frame rates, you could go ahead and do that yourself. But this console, they're actually optimizing this. It's amazing what like they're doing. Like I said, man, shout outs to the boy Mark Cerny. He's doing the thing, man. He's taking a step towards the future with the PS5. Meanwhile, Xbox is staying in the past. Like, there's no quality games like there was back when the first few Xboxes and the 360. The 360 was the consoles that these developers actually developed for at first and then ported out to the PS3. But it's like, I don't know, man. I think they should have kept Don Matrick. Don Matrick was right when that nigga said, if you want to play Xbox 360 games, nigga, we got a 360 for you in stock too. Like, that nigga was right. Because you want a new console for the new experience, bro. You don't want, and like everybody on all sides except the Xbox side, because everything is mediocrity, or however you say the word. I'm going to have to look it up later. Somebody could correct me if they want. But that's all Xbox and Xbox is about. Like, they happy with mediocrity and detrimental shit to their console. But cause my nigga, I can believe that Xbox is more powerful than God himself. Like, that new one that's coming out, that shit's gonna be more powerful than God, nigga. God ain't gonna have shit on that Xbox. But that shit's not about to be optimized. Look at the games that they're developing for it. There's a game called Grounded, a cartoony ass looking game that it don't even look like they put the right filter over it. It looks like with a little bit of an art style and the right filter popped over the visuals, the game would look good, but the game don't look good. the game's probably not gonna be optimized. The damn console itself is probably not gonna be optimized. That's gonna be the best console for like looking at still images and doing what you niggas do now, which is watch Netflix all day and then do podcasts and shit with other niggas who don't play. But that's neither here nor there. Like, we already know how this shit is out here. So yeah, like I said, man, like they are actually taking a step towards the future with the PS5, the Xbox Series X, which is so confusing, bro, because your last Xbox was the Xbox X at the end. Y'all need to come up, like, there's 26 letters in the alphabet, 27 if you look at the Spanish alphabet, and then there's other alphabets. Pick another letter or a number, bro. Like, give them the 720 or some shit. But it's sad to, like, at the same time see Microsoft, like, because the more Microsoft plummets, that's the less that Sony has to do to, like, innovate and keep moving towards the future with the consoles and stuff. Because this gaming shit, this is real life, B. These gaming streets are real life. But I'm happy and excited to be an owner of a PS5. I'm probably not gonna be a day one beta tester for the PS5. I got other shit to worry about right now, but I'm definitely gonna hop on it. And all these games that, like, I've been dodging playing, which people say they're good, or like I haven't felt like they're good, once they get that update for the PS5 and I can play them at like 4K 60 or just 60 frames period. That's what I really want. Like, imagine that God of War shit. I bet that shit will feel much better at 60 frames, which you could already do it on the Pro, but it's not a lock 60 and I don't got a Pro. I never did that mid-gen refresh shit. Yeah, so these are the things that are going on. Again, Last of Us indefinitely delayed, which is coming out within the next year or two. People, calm down. I give it like 18 months at most from now for that game to come out. And the further they push it back, the more they're gonna iron that game out. So they're gonna be killing more kinks and bugs, probably adding new thing. Like I said, man, we might fuck around and it might launch with the multiplayer day one. And if it does, like, I'm definitely like gonna learn how to play that shit. And yeah, I'm excited. Like, I ain't really like The Last of Us 1, or I like the game. I'm not gonna say I didn't like it, but I do feel like it's just a tad bit overhyped. I don't know if it's because, like, a lot of people got into gaming during, like, the PS3 era, probably even the PS4 era, but, like, cinematic games or games with, like, good narrative story, people really fuck with a lot. So definitely looking forward to that. Xbox again. The games that they promoting, freaking Grounded and Minecraft. So it's not too much hope on, like, for the Xbox no more. Like, the last strand of hope that Xbox had was Crackdown. And we all seen that nobody was playing Crackdown 2 days later. Like, just from then, like, showing us the game, like, they made the Xbox One X, and then they made a cartoony looking game which had some good physics and promise, but they can't even deliver on what they trying to deliver on or none of that shit, man. So it's just some crazy times that we're living in, for real. Look at how everybody's having the mask up and shit now. Before, people are getting pulled over for not having a mask on. Before you had a mask on in the streets, it was a wrap. But you definitely got to make sure to take care of yourself during these times. It's definitely a good time to like punch a hole in your backlog. I wish I had more time and freedom. If I had 24/7 right now to freaking game and shit, bruh, I would be lost right now. This thing wouldn't even matter to me right now. It just sucks a little bit because you already used to like being in the house. Now motherfuckers is telling you you can't go out. So it's crazy like that. But oh yeah, I wanted to hop into what I've heard about Resident Evil 3 so far, and like spoilers if you're planning on playing that game. And you even though I don't know how it ends or anything, but that's not what I'm gonna talk about. If you're planning on playing that game, the clock tower is missing. There's no clock tower in the game, which would have added another 2 or 3 beneficial hours that could have been added into the game. And there is no choices, which the branching path, which they should have added that. They should go back in and patch that, and they should try to somehow patch in the clock tower or whatever and try to make that game 4 hours longer. Like, and they took away from, not from what I've heard, from what I've seen and heard on YouTube, but in this game, Resident Evil 2, you can like shoot at their limbs, and their limbs would detach, and like their hands, you can make them fall off and all of that. I don't know why they took that out the game, but I heard Capcom like outsourced that game to another company, which Capcom, don't outsource your games, please. It does more harm than good. And like from what I've seen, Resident Evil 3 is a good game, but it's not worth more than like $25, I would say, because it's basically a DLC with some stuff missing from this game, which like the limbs detaching and stuff like that. And it should have been like at least 4 hours, especially if y'all would have just added the clock tower and the branching path choices. Nobody would have been complaining about the game. But I haven't played the game myself yet, so we will see if my opinion on it change once I do play it, which will probably be later this year, because 6 hours is a bit short, even though I myself would say that I want shorter games, because I already play competitive games that you already gotta shell an hour or two, like at least twice a week or whatever, into to be able to get quote unquote good at. So like, as far as a game is like designed the right way, and I would say for $60, I want like at least 8 hours. I think the sweet spot for me really is 8 to 12 hours. And then if y'all want to add DLC in it, well, it should take 8 to 12 hours to like beat the story or collect some shit, and then like to collect everything 20 hours, and then y'all could just add like a 4 to 6 hour DLC. Like, I think that's the right formula for games to follow. That way it's not too much and it's not too little, because too little is bad too, especially if there's no branching paths, which would have like made little nuances in the game or little story differences. It's like the butterfly effect, basically. That's what it would have been in the game. So it's a shame that that's like that. And it is Thursday right now. It's Thursday, April 9th. I thought it was Friday. Final Fantasy 7 is coming out. And I have not heard about the ending, but I have heard that the ending is gonna like split the fan community or whatever. But I'm excited to see what they do, because all these remakes that they've remade, they've all for the most part been reimaginings. They haven't really been like remakes. So like, and I understand like Resident Evil 2 is the one that I would say is more like a remake, and also Resident Evil 1, that was really a remake, even though they added a little bit of stuff. But like Resident Evil 3 is more of a reimagining, and Final Fantasy 7 is a reimagining of the classic story. So I didn't really like the demo too much. I wish there was a little bit more nuance was in the combat, but I also only played so much, so there's only so much that I got to figure out. Like I said, that would have to be another game that I pick up, which I probably plan on picking that game up soon. Let's see how things go, and I guess I could talk about the game later. The game visually looks like the demo. It looked cool. I like the characters. I like the way the characters react with each other and everything. And even with the last trailer, I saw the last trailer, so I'm a bigger fan of Zack Fair than freaking Cloud Strife, man. Zack Fair was my dude. Crisis Core, I could say, is like one of my favorite Final Fantasy games. I would probably say like 8 is one of my favorites too. I'm not gonna say any of them are my favorite, but Crisis Core is my favorite. And in the universe of Final Fantasy as a whole, bro, like Zack Fair is one of the strongest characters to have ever lived, and he's my favorite character from the series. So we'll see what this game does, how they go about introducing him in the past, because there's a lot of like fraudulent Final Fantasy fans right now that don't even know who my mans is, but hopefully they do the right stuff in the game with it. It looks like it from the trailer, because freaking Aerith already mentions him or references him, however you want to look at that. But other games, what other games that are launching, and games in general, you're gonna see a lot of games get delayed. I wouldn't be surprised if Cyberpunk gets delayed. They probably mentioned it by now, I'm not sure, but just get used to a lot of these games getting delayed, because people are not working in at the office, and I'm not sure how developing for a game is gonna be when you don't even got people there. I guess these nerds, or excuse me, I mean developers, could figure out how to work from home or FaceTime and figure shit out and iron these games out. But there are gonna be delays. Like I said before, we are going through some critical times. We in something that nobody that's alive today has ever gone through like before. So, and it's gonna be a lot of changes, bro. Like especially from 2020 to 2030, bro. We not in the same planet that we grew up in no more. It's a whole different beast right now. But like I said, I can't stress enough to take care of yourselves. There's a lot of people dying off of this. Everybody, like all these celebrities is coming out with it, but they got the money to be able to take care of themselves and all of that. So you, as somebody that don't, needs to take care of yourself. But I think I'm gonna go ahead and end this here. I've discussed enough things, and I think it's lengthy enough. I'm not even sure how lengthy we are right now. It looks like we at about a half an hour of recording, so I'm gonna just drop this like this. And everybody take care of yourselves again, and I'll catch you some other time. Peace out.